So this is going to be Dreamlet podcast, the next season with my childhood friends episode number 2. So in the previous one, we basically talked about our experiences in elementary school. We talked all about that, and now we're moving on to like middle school and high school. And we sort of talked about like moments where we were just having fun and stuff like that. And this time we wanted to change things up and talk about academics a little bit. So just as a starter question, when we were in middle school and high school, what were your favorite subjects, guys?
My favorite subject was, for whatever reason, history. I don't know.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like in 7th grade as well?
Maybe not 7th grade. Maybe not so much middle school, but actually high school. In middle school, I can't pinpoint a favorite subject actually in middle school. It's hard for me.
So in elementary, I don't know. I don't think I ever had, actually science. Science is probably my favorite subject. It always has been throughout elementary and middle school. Science and history. Surprisingly, I didn't like math or English. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, to people who are viewers, like, let us know in the chat like what your favorite subject was too when you were in high school and middle school. I mean, for me, I've always enjoyed math and science the most. I think those two were also my favorite classes in 7th grade and 8th grade. I moved, so different schools. But for academic wise, I think 7th grade, I considered myself pretty average, right? I felt like I was no smarter than anyone else. But then when I moved and 8th grade happened, when we graduated, I got this like, I forgot what it was called, like Principal's Award or whatever. And only 2 people out of the entire class got it. And I don't know why I got it, but I think it was because basically the rubric is that the teachers have to choose you for it. And they chose me because they thought, I was a very smart kid. But like I did not know why, because I wasn't like particularly trying super hard to be the smartest,
Okay.
I think not to say like this area is not as smart, but like I think the MPK area was more competitive in terms of academics. That's my
Scott,
observation.
I always thought you were smart, Scott. Since elementary, I said it in the last podcast. I always thought you were smart. I was like, man, but
yeah. But Mango says that her favorite subject is English, hands down. I always had a hard time with English. But yeah, English, I don't think I ever got like good at English until maybe later on in high school, where we wrote essays and stuff like that. And my teacher would actually like praise me for whatever I wrote in like close reading. Have you guys ever experienced close reading before?
What is that exactly?
Basically, you have to go through a book and analyze it and write in it, and like write. In this sentence, they're using this technique, stuff like that.
Okay, yeah, I felt like I did that for high school.
Didn't we do that in middle school too? I thought Miss Boyd's class we did that.
Did we?
I think so. We had to like take notes and stuff like that. I remember.
For me in Miss Boyd's class, the thing I remember the most was I improved a lot for essay writing with her.
Yeah.
She helped me write essays. Really good up until high school, and then I got into AP English, and that's where I got so confused. I couldn't write essays anymore.
Okay.
I could not write essays anymore. It was so sad. I was like, whatever I turned in, it wasn't good. I guess, I was like, oh man, maybe I don't deserve to be an AP.
Yeah, but AP English for 11th grade was one of my favorite classes, and then for 12th grade, I heard that there's like so much close reading stuff like that. I just decided not to do AP for 12. But yeah, I suppose maybe we should center around our academics for middle school first.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
For me, middle school was a struggle actually. I'm not sure why. Maybe things at home too. But yeah, I felt like I did really bad in middle school, if I'm honest, and it kind of affected my high school, where your middle school kind of dictates how you start high school. I feel like So yeah, middle school wasn't too great for me academic wise.
I wasn't that good either. I think I was averaging a 3.0, 3 point something, somewhere up there. But yeah,
Yeah.
again, I don't really remember much from there. I just remember it. I had seventh grade was the first year I got internet, and you know, and I discovered online gaming, and you know, all I remember really was I went to school, got my homework done as quick as I could, went home, and I played video games. That was it. That was middle school, in a nutshell.
I mean, I feel like it was the same way for me too. Like, middle school was like Maple Story time.
Yeah, pretty much. It
Yeah.
was. That's all you did all summer.
Yeah, I remember playing Maple Story so much when we were in, I think it was 6th and 7th grade, right?
I never played Maple Story, so I don't know.
Oh, it was with Jason, and my cousins, and also AC played as well.
AC.
We just go on like party quests all day. PQs is what they were called.
Okay.
But for me, middle school, I think you remember. Just to bring up like a funny moment. So me and Johnny had the same teacher for science. What was it? Was it fourth period? I think it was fourth period.
What, Miss Tang?
Yeah, Miss
Yes,
Tang.
Miss Tang.
Were you there too, Jimmy, or was it just?
No, I didn't have Miss Tang, unfortunately.
Yeah,
She
so
was
me,
an awesome teacher.
me and Johnny had the same science teacher, and we had a project, and it was like the last project before school ended, and I remember me and Johnny doing it together, and we were just like so lazy about it that we just basically full on. First of all, we procrastinated. Second, it was plagiarism. There you go. It was full on plagiarism. We just took stuff off the internet and put it in our essay, and then we presented it. And I had no idea what I was talking about. I still remember we were talking about like chromosomes or something. It was for like Down syndrome, I think.
Yes, it was Down syndrome. But I remember as we were listing resources, we made sure not to list the resources we plagiarized from. Was all.
You reworded it.
Yes.
No, I remember literally after the presentation, Miss Tang was like, "Okay, I'm gonna have to check for plagiarism from these people," and then our names were listed, and I was like, "Shit." But she never did it, or at least like it didn't matter in the end, or at least like because I moved. But
that was the end of the school year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have any class with Scott or you in the middle school. I never, which was unfortunate.
I feel like I had PE with you. I think that was the only thing.
Did you? I don't remember.
With Mr. Green?
I had first period, Mr. Green.
I think I had first period Mr. Green too.
Did you? For seventh grade?
Yes. I think that was all.
Remember when he brought in his Porsche? Or Porsche?
Yeah, and free Gatorade.
And free Gatorade. And remember when, I'm not sure if Scott was there. Remember when they freaking broke into the boys' locker room? So, I don't know who, but some hoodlums or some guys broke into the boys' locker room and stole all the Gatorade. And I'm not sure what else they stole, but I forgot. But, well, yeah, they broke in just to steal Gatorade.
Stole Gatorade. That's it.
Yes.
Yep.
That was valuable stuff back then.
That was gold back then.
John remembers. Yeah.
Yo, I was gonna say my uncle says Gatorade like Gatorade because he has like a Chinese accent, Chinese dad accent.
Oh.
But I don't remember that actually.
So you probably weren't there. I think it might have been no, it was seventh grade.
Yeah, maybe I just don't remember it.
Yeah, I faintly remember it, but not too much about it.
They left a handprint on the window, and that was all the evidence that was there. It's like, oh, you left a handprint. I was like, oh, okay. So what? You gonna run fingerprints?
I think band was one of my favorite classes. Me and Johnny weren't in the same period, but we were both percussion, right?
Yep.
I remember that. You guys had the percussion pads and drumsticks.
And that actually influenced my choice to... I actually don't know if it influenced my choice, but I ended up being in band in 8th grade as well as 9th grade after that.
Okay.
Nice.
for percussion, and those were some fun times.
Man, like that was probably the biggest mistake I've made in my academic life.
It
That I
is.
didn't do band. I chose Avid. I don't know why I did Avid. That was so stupid. That was like,
Wait, what's Avid?
so Avid is like, it's like a prep class. It helps. I don't know. It prepares you for college.
I see.
Like,
Yeah.
okay, it's like. So I was like, oh, okay. Remember, I said in the last episode I didn't get into the GATE program. So I was like, that's it. I gotta get into that program.
I see.
Yeah, biggest mistake ever, because I believe 8th grade we didn't have Avid anymore. They canceled it completely.
I think one of the best things you can do when, like, hopefully, I don't know about you guys, but hopefully we're all parents in the future, right? I don't know if that's what you want, but if we are, I think kids should always go through some sort of music program to see if they like it. In school would be great because they get to do it with their peers, but for instance, like me, I did band, and then I also did choir, and those were like really fun times. I think those were like the best classes, actually.
Yeah, and the cool thing is, like, you have performances, and like, I feel like you're more involved in school, right? Because you're coming back later for a performance, and and if you're
Yeah.
in high school, you're performing in front of on the football field and this and that. It's just, I think it's cool, and you get to learn an instrument, and you get to hang out with your friends, and where would you guys go for the competition? Was it Six Flags, or was it?
Yeah, we did go to Six Flags one year. It's not at Six Flags. It was like an event that was sponsored or something by Six Flags.
Right.
Yeah, so like we performed, we got graded, and then we got free tickets to Six Flags after. So that was fun.
Then you get to hang out with your friends at Six Flags. It's just,
Yeah.
that was like one of the biggest mistakes I made, and I wish I did band. So
In ninth grade, I did drumline, so we went everywhere. And then there was this competition, I think it's called WGI in Ohio, and that was a really fun trip. Unfortunately, all my friends left drumline afterwards, and I was like, do I still want to be in here? Because like most of my friends left, so I ended up not being in drumline after that. So it was just a 1 year experience. But
didn't want to hang out with the freshmen. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, the people who were still in it were totally fine. It's just my closest friends left, So it felt like not peer pressure to leave necessarily. More so, I didn't feel like I wanted to stay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Johnny, you stayed all 4 years?
Yeah, I did band for all of middle school and high school. I stuck with it. Yeah, I didn't do any sports during that time either, which is actually what I kind of regret. I kind of wish I did a sport, but oh well.
Yeah. I did tennis 3 years, and cross country 1 year, track 1 year. Yeah.
I'm kind of getting into high school right now. Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, that's what I did in high school.
I'm trying to remember for middle school. Did we ever like visit colleges or anything like that for middle school?
Not me.
I visited college because I was in Avid.
Avid. Did you feel like it was useful at all during that time in middle school?
I guess it really helped me be organized. I mean, I would show you guys my bookshelf here, but I still have all of my binders. Avid taught me one thing, and it was organization of paperwork. I was so good at organizing and taking notes.
Okay.
And as I was going through, and when I went to college for automotive,
Yeah.
I still have all my binders right in front of me right now. It's each subject I have a binder, and it's full of notes and full of,
Note taking. When you mentioned that, I just had to laugh because I don't think I ever took notes in college. I tried, but then I kept falling asleep in class. So then what I would do was just either get the notes from my friend, because then I don't actually have to write them down. I just have them, And even if I did take notes, I wasn't absorbing any information, or like I wasn't learning while taking the notes. So for me, the best way I learn is actually just trying things. So like for math, my entire math career or life in school, all I did was look at the question, look at an example. Like every chapter has like examples in it. Look at the example, try it, and then check the answer in the back of the book. And then if I was right, I just kept going. If I was wrong, I'll try to figure out why. That was math. That was the entirety of math. And also physics. That was also the same thing as physics. Look at how they do it, the book, and then try it, and then look at the answer.
That reminds me, checking answers in the back of the book. I remember that.
I remember that right now too.
I remember teachers always saying, "Don't check the back of the book until you finish all the questions."
They only did odds, I think.
Yeah. They only did odds.
Yeah. So the teachers would go, "Okay, tonight's homework is evens. You can only do the even ones."
That's so foolish. That is horrendously foolish because people like me can't learn. You know. Being able to get instant feedback on whether or not you're right. Obviously, people will take advantage of it and just like write the answer down or something and like not actually do it. But for people like me who actually learn in that way and need the confirmation, not allowing them to do that doesn't help.
I agree with Scott because I'm kind of the same way. Because college, I was like that. When I had to study, I always got apps and stuff that would test me on a certain subject, say an automotive subject. So you take your test and you get instant feedback, and if you got it right, it builds your confidence. You're like, oh yeah, okay, cool, I got it right. But if you got it wrong, then you're okay. Well, why did I get it wrong? And it will give you an explanation of why I got it wrong.
That's why tutors are very useful because tutors are working with you in real time to give you that instant feedback, and having access to the actual answers and doing it the proper way by checking after you try it is just way better. And that's why I always had trouble with English because there's no like a correct answer, right?
English is like there's no definite answer to it. It's a variety of answers to that one question. It's like true. Okay, because it's all opinionated, right? So, most things are opinionated. Op-eds.
Yeah, at least for me, when we did English stuff, it was mostly like trying to write argumentative essays, or trying to explain something, or trying to answer a prompt. So there's so many ways you can do that, but I suppose proper grammar and stuff like that is easier to achieve in that sense.
Yeah, and that's important. But yeah, I can't believe I took AP Lang and AP Lit. Those did terrible 1 year in AP, and I'm gonna redeem myself next year in the next AP class when I should have just got out and took a normal English class.
Was that 11 and 12?
That was 11 and 12.
Yeah. So similar to me, where I did 11 AP and then I did not do 12 AP.
A lot of people pulled out. People were like, "Nope, I'm not going to do AP Lit," and then I was like, I'm going to redeem myself in AP Lit. That was the biggest mistake.
Yeah, I think for me, I wouldn't mind doing it now just because these days I've been trying to get more into writing. Like, I've put it on pause for a while, but I've still been trying to write this Avatar fan fiction thing. And reading Brandon Sanderson's books as well have made me want to get more into writing as well. So, yeah, that's one thing to note is I sort of feel like at this stage in my life, I sort of want to actually have taken that to know those things, but I think that's also the case for a lot of things. Like, I think if I were to go back, I have a friend who actually went to art school. I think I would actually want to do that for music or something. Art school would be so interesting. But just some things to consider for our children, or like, I don't know, listeners, potential children in the future. Yeah. Well,
yeah. I mean, I have nieces, and
or that.
And my oldest one, I try to tell her, like, hey, I think it's time to start thinking about. I mean, it's not as time, but like, hey, think about what you want to be in the future. Even though you don't know the answers to that now.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, well, the issue,
sort of.
this is a bit of a tangent, but the issue with kids is that they don't know what they want.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't know what we want. Or I can't speak for everyone, but I didn't know what I wanted when I was a kid. I might have thought I knew what I wanted, to be an engineer or whatever, but that's totally not what I became. So I think the best thing to do is expose like kids to as much as possible and not force them to do things, but at least like see what their interests are and then like support them in getting them to do it. Like for instance, for me, I really wish my parents put me in gymnastics when I was younger. So I would have been way further ahead compared to like having started when I was like 21 or 22.
Okay. Yeah, you brought up a good point. I wouldn't say that I regret doing band. It's just that I wish I could experience something else other than band as well.
Yeah.
It's more exposure to other stuff.
Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to do with my niece too. You know, like, and you know, my brother and my sister-in-law are doing a good job. I mean, they put her in gymnastics class. She did gymnastics.
That's great.
Yeah, I think piano and stuff like that. Just a bunch of stuff. It's just to, you know, spark her interests. You know what I mean? Because that really helps finding.
Yeah, definitely.
Finding what she wants. You know what I mean? And me, I didn't have any of that. Me or my brother, because of course, being our parents being, you know, immigrants, we didn't have much money. They didn't even have money to put me through tutoring or whatever like that. So
yeah.
But yeah, I find that very important. And when I was younger, I wish I was exposed to more things. I wish I was exposed to more music stuff or more, you know, sports or whatever it was. But yeah, I wasn't.
For me, piano actually stopped after 9th grade as well. Or at least I stopped taking lessons after 9th grade, which I don't regret necessarily, but I wish I kept going. It was more like my teacher just stopped teaching me for whatever reason. I don't even know the real reason. It just stopped for some reason. She just said she couldn't anymore because I did move, so like going to Monterey Park all the time was a big issue.
But like, were you like were there tiers? Like, there's a beginner. Were you like advanced at that point?
Oh, so there's this thing called the ABRSM. It's like Royal Associates Music Board or whatever. But then, basically, there's 8 levels. So there's another one that's really popular that has 10 levels. To compare to that, the 8th level is the same as the 10th level in terms of difficulty. And for me, by the time I reached 9th grade, I finished the 7th level. And then after college, I actually self-studied to take the 8th level. And then after that, I self-studied again to take the diploma for teaching piano.
That's what interests me, because I remember that you would teach yourself, or you were practicing on your own.
Yeah, I practiced on my own like all the time, even after lessons stopped. So it sort of shows me that it's an interest that I care about, that I don't have to be pushed to do. Like, I just naturally go to it, you know?
I see.
And do you think that's how you make choices nowadays? Like,
oh yeah, that's literally how I make choices. Do I feel this?
I mean,
do I feel that?
Yeah. I don't think there's anyone forcing them to do anything anymore.
That's true. I feel like doing this today. Okay, we'll go do that. Yeah.
No, but of course I still have to like make money somehow. So of course I work part-time and stuff like that. But that's for later. We went on a big tangent. Sorry. But yeah, I mean, all this stuff still relates to middle school. It stems from there, right? Because
pretty much
band and piano lessons, those things were like high priority for me, or not high priority, but like one of the biggest memories for me in terms of like growth. When I was in middle school, I would take tests for piano. For band, we would do competitions. Even in 8th grade, I was in drumline in 8th grade, and that was like really fun. Like, we lost all the time, but like it was really fun.
But okay, this is an interesting question. What college did you think you would end up in 7th grade? Because I was an avid, so we went to colleges all the time.
I didn't even know colleges existed in 7th grade.
Yeah, because in 7th grade, Cal Poly Pomona was my college. I was like, this is where I want to end up going. This is because it's a good school for engineering. I'm going to get into engineering. That's what I want to do. Yeah. Which later in college, I almost transferred. I was on the way of transferring. I was going to apply, but then I changed my mind. We'll get into later about that.
Yeah, middle school, I was a very naive kid. Just went with the flow, basically.
I didn't think you were naive, man.
Naive about the world, my friend.
Okay.
Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe in a like academic level type thing, I was like okay, but like I was certainly naive about the world. I think all of us were.
Pretty much. I mean, we're kids.
Yeah, exactly.
Think about it. If you look at a 7th grader nowadays, you're like, man, you're such
little.
You're
such
little.
a dweeb.
And at the time, you think you're like,
You think you're the
like
shit.
you're the shit. I'm cool. I'm in the 7th grade now. I'm an 8th grader now. You know.
I mean, to be honest, I wish I was back in 7th grade.
I do too, actually. I don't know.
I wouldn't mind going back.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
Very good time.
I would redo my.
So,
yeah.
I don't want to say names, but you know that one scary teacher that we all had at one in 7th grade, right?
I didn't.
Did Jimmy have?
I didn't have her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Jimmy did.
So just were we in the same class, Johnny?
I had her 3rd period. I don't think you did. I think you had her 5th period, right?
No, I think I might have had her. Who was in your class? Dang, it's kind of hard to remember.
I know, like,
Was Rachel in your class?
Selena, Nana, Lauren, Eric were in my class.
Do you remember Rachel? Was she in your class?
No, I don't think so. I think she's pretty sure 5th period.
Yeah, maybe you're right. It might have been 5th
Yeah,
period.
Georgia, Stephanie were in my class too. Yeah.
Oh, no, we weren't going no names necessarily. We're first names nobody's gonna know. Like there's so many Laurens in the world. But yeah, that class was interesting. I think it should be a study on how not to conduct a classroom.
It was very military-like.
Yes, very militaristic.
It was very strict.
And
especially for 7th graders.
I don't know how, but I dodged that bullet, man. Whew.
I had the unfortunate event of getting this part 2 in 8th grade.
Oh, really?
I dodged both bullets, man.
Wait, hold on. What was she teaching in 8th grade?
Oh no, it wasn't her teaching. It was
her partner.
her partner, other half.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Well, let's describe the class a little bit. So, basically, it felt cold all the time. The tables were stacked very, very neatly in like one space, right? I mean, most classes were like that, but like this felt different, you know? It felt cold. It felt like a laboratory almost, but not the cool kind where you do cool experiments, but the kind where you're just like forced to sit there. And she would always smile. She would always have this like aura around her where you have to listen, otherwise she's gonna like slap you or something. But for me personally, I was okay during the time. I never actually disliked her. I kind of just felt like because at the time I was taking taekwondo, and that's how it felt like the same thing. Like, because the teacher for taekwondo would always be like, oh, discipline, and then you have to listen and you have to say like, yes sir, and that it felt exactly the same, you know.
Yeah. And yeah, someone in chat just reminded me there were like certain things we're expected to bring.
That's Miss
Totally
Boyd.
forgot about that. Yeah.
Hi, Miss Boyd.
Yeah. Even right now, when if you guys don't know, I'm in the military right now, and it's not even that strict compared to what she used to.
It's not as strict as the 7th grade teacher.
Yes, it is. It is scary thinking about that class, how it ran. It definitely was really. I don't think any class should be run that way, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Dang. I've heard stories from both of you guys. You guys would tell me about that class.
Yeah.
Wait, okay. Who hit her? in the nose, or who opened
Oh
the door?
yes, someone hit her with the door.
That was
I forgot about that.
I think I have like ghost memories of that moment. But before we do that, just to read off some comments. So in the comments it says, "You guys are too nice." Kids would come in my room to make calls to their mothers to bring supplies they forgot, stuff like that.
Okay, just to let you guys know, Miss Boyd is next door from this teacher, and Miss Boyd is in this chat right now, so she's like giving us.
Yeah, one kid wrote a horror story in my class about watching a pencil slowly slowing falling off a student's desk in her class. But
Whoa, I did not know that.
I did not
She
know
sued
that.
the
I did
Wow.
not know that.
Who hit over the door? I forgot who it was.
I have no idea, but
It was someone I knew.
Oh.
It was probably one of my good friends. I don't remember who it was, but he was late to class or something. And usually, I know that she stands in front of her door when in between periods.
yeah.
And
So
then-
so for me, I actually have ghost memories of this happening. Like, I feel like I saw it happen, literally while I was walking in the hall.
it was Ivan.
I didn't think much of it because when you're a kid and you see somebody like get hit by something, you don't really think much of it because you watch cartoons and everyone's okay. But I guess like, you know, concussion happened. But yo, it was chaos after that. The sub was, I think, Mr. Angel. Do you guys remember that?
Was he a cool sub?
Yo, he was a cool sub. Maybe it was a different sub for each period, but
Okay, either way, it's better than having the actual teacher.
yeah, but okay. It's it goes to show here's a lesson to learn, right? So Miss Tran was so strict that when Mr. Angel came, and he was such a nice sub, he was super nice, but he was unfortunately a pushover. I'm sorry to say that, but he was a pushover, and he would let the kids do literally anything. Because in my period, people were moving their desks next to each other. People were throwing stuff around in the class, like papers and stuff like that. Rachel was drawing on my face, and it was just chaos everywhere all the time. And like we were all talking, and there's this one day where I forgot her name, but Officer, it's part of the STAR program. Do you guys remember?
Yeah, I remember the STAR program. Yeah.
Officer
I think
Bryant.
Deputy
Bryant,
Bryant.
yeah, Deputy Bryant.
Yes.
Deputy
She came
Bryant,
in
yeah.
and yelled the crap out of us because she saw what we were doing, and I was frightened the entire time because I was like, okay, I'm sure my friends are smart enough to know that if a guest is coming, they should behave just slightly different. But everyone was still crazy, and everyone was still like just super loud and behaving like wild children, which we were. But it was such a frightening moment. She was like, this sub right here, this teacher is so nice to you guys, and you guys are treating him like crap and stuff like that. And
No respect.
all of us were no respect. All of us were super silent after that. And yeah, but it goes to show when you are that strict, right? And then the leniency comes in, or like the strictness is gone, like
Yeah.
everyone goes wild compared to other classes where the teachers were chill, you know, they weren't like super strict, but they still had a level, they still had standards in the classroom where you cannot do certain things, but we were still fine in those classrooms. So
Yeah, that
that's-
makes sense. I mean, when you hold back something, it's gonna freaking pop out.
that's why for me it's like a lesson or a study of how not to conduct your classroom, because it's just not right. It doesn't work.
Man, I'm glad I did not experience that class firsthand. I dodged that one. Whew.
Yeah, I had the unfortunate end of getting the 8th grade.
You got the part 2,
Yeah.
part 3.
I actually almost sued that part 2 teacher because there was a day where I had a stomach ache and I really needed to use the restroom. And I understand, like, you know, teachers don't want to have their time wasted, right?
Mhm.
And they don't want to let the students go to the restroom. But this was like,
God.
my stomach was hurting. And you can just like simply say, no, you cannot go. But he's all like, you want me to make you feel better? I'll punch it for you. And
What the
at the
hell?
time, like, I didn't know what to do. So I was like, okay, fine. And then after school, I actually did end up going to the hospital, and I was really close to like my mom was really mad about it.
I really hate teachers who do that, dude. Like, don't let you go to the bathroom. I'm like, dude, I need to go to the bathroom. You think I'm gonna run off and like mess around outside? Are you crazy? So I need to go do,
Yeah.
I hate those teachers, man. Those teachers are just, or like substitutes. They're like, sometimes there's a sub that will do that, and I'm like, dude, come on, can I just go use the bathroom? I really need to go. What, you want me to go in here?
That actually reminds me of something. I don't know if you knew this, Jimmy, but in 3rd grade, this is embarrassing, but I'm letting you know now.
Wait.
I peed in my pants in 3rd grade one time.
Did you?
Yes. This was before we switched to Miss Barozzi. It was Mr. Tay. He didn't let me use the restroom either.
Oh man, he was one of those teachers.
Yes.
Shoot.
And I peed in my pants. And the funny thing is, thank God I had Gatorade on my desk. Because I was just like, oh yeah, guys, I spilled Gatorade.
So that's why it smelled like piss. No, I'm just kidding.
All right.
Yeah.
Did we sit next to each other, Johnny?
We did.
I didn't know.
So-
Oh my gosh.
Other comments. The high risk factor diminishes learning, and that's like for sure. She also said he was a jerk. I'm assuming to that teacher that you were talking about, Johnny.
Yeah.
I don't know, Miss Boyd, but your class was. I had a good time in your class.
Yes.
That was a good class.
English is not a good subject for me.
The funny thing was that
Yeah.
do you guys remember AIM back in the day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Miss
I
Boyd
did.
would have that open on her computer,
Oh, really?
and then my cousin used my computer at home. Like he turned it on, and auto logs in, and then my
Yeah.
screen name goes, and that noise that makes when you log in.
Yeah.
She put me on blast in the class, dude.
From my memories, I remember a couple moments where Miss Boyd tossed me this candy, and then I caught it like super quick. Like my hands were down, and then when the candy was like right here, I was like, and then everyone was like surprised by that. And then another moment when we were doing, I remember when my mom talked to Miss Boyd and was like something about me and English or reading, and then she gave me Inkheart to read, and the book was like basically cut in half. Like when you opened it, it was almost broken. And I think I never returned that book. I'm very sorry.
Miss Boyd, I still have that same copy of Inkheart as well. It's right there. It's sitting on my shelf. I never returned my copy either. I think she pulled me and you in to get Inkheart to read.
Oh really?
Yeah,
but
I still have the copy. It's sitting right there.
Yeah, my copy ripped in half. So
Really, it ripped in half.
it ripped in half. But
Mine was
I did
beat up, too.
actually read it. I actually read it and I enjoyed it, which was surprising because I think that was the first time I ever read a fiction book in full, like an actual one.
Should I grab it? It's like right there. Mine's beat up too, but I don't think it was beat up as bad as your copy. Look, Scott, I still have it. Still beat up, and I have notes in here. I don't know why I have notes in here. But yeah,
Yeah.
I still got it. Miss Boyd, if you would like your copy back, please let me know. I would copy it off. Proof. It says Boyd at the bottom.
But is there anything else in 7th grade that stood out to you guys?
Well, like I said in the last one, it's like it was pretty cool having different classes and you having passing periods and getting to the next class instead of sitting in one classroom all day.
Yeah.
Right.
It was nice meeting new people.
Yeah,
During the
meeting
7th grade.
meeting different friends, like meeting new people from different schools.
Yeah,
Just making more friends.
yeah, fun times.
Yeah, it was good times. It definitely was. And again, as Scott said, we were all naive of the world.
Not much to worry about.
Yeah, not much to worry about. Meh. It's not the end of the world.
I mean, eighth grade I think was 2008. I think that was like when the stock market
2008
crash
to
happened and everything like that.
which of course didn't affect us.
Yeah. I mean, we wouldn't have known if it affected us, but
Did you guys have money in middle school? Would you carry money around? Did you have a wallet?
no.
I believe I did.
I think I had a wallet, but I don't think I had money in it. Maybe $1 or $2.
But that's because I didn't go directly home. I would go to like an after school.
No, I think I
program.
had some money. Because I remember I bought like this ring pop for Elaine.
Okay.
At that one store. What was it called again?
We're talking about Jenny's Market?
Yeah.
Was it Jenny's Market?
Yeah.
There's also a 99-cent store across the street and Domi's Bakery,
Yeah.
which was a really.
Yeah.
I remember me and AC would always go back to Emerson after school ended, because both of us, our houses were on the way. So actually there was a group of us that always did. I don't know if you guys
Lucky.
were there, but it was me, AC, Brittany, maybe a couple of other people, but I remember us three mainly doing it often. And we would just hang out around Emerson. Like me and AC actually went went inside Emerson and like said hi to Miss Whitehead and
Okay.
You guys were lucky.
I mean, he had his younger sibling in there, right?
yeah, and my cousins
you
were,
did.
were there too. So
Yeah.
You guys were lucky. I
Someone-
lived so far away from school. I had to go home right afterwards. I
I
never got to walk around or hang out with my friends. Just got in the car and went back to Almani, which was like, when
Yeah.
you're a kid, is like a million miles away. So
DDR Mario asks, did you guys have phones? And
I have.
I was
phone.
actually spoiled, and I somehow ended up with a BlackBerry in middle school. I had no idea.
I've surprisingly, my first cell phone was 3rd grade. I got my first cell phone in 3rd grade.
Wow.
Yeah.
I got my first cell phone in 8th grade.
Yeah. I had a Nokia, guys. The Nokia brick, that infamous
The blue
brick
one.
that if you throw it at someone, it's still fine, or you throw it against the wall, it's still fine. I used to play Snake on it. Yeah, 3rd grade, because my parents were worried about me. I was far away from home when I went to school, so they're like, okay,
I didn't
make sure
do
you have this on you.
anything with my phone in 8th grade, except for like sometimes call people. That's about it.
Yeah. And John says we always go to cross the Quicklies. Remember Quicklies? Remember popcorn chicken?
Quicklies.
Oh my
Popcorn
god.
chicken. Yes.
We'd always get the spiciest one and see who can eat it.
I feel like we did that in high school too. We always went to
High school,
Boba.
too. Yeah,
Boba.
boba runs.
Yes,
that was
the era we
addicting.
grew up with. Oh my god, Boba. I miss Boba from that era right now. But,
I bet you do. Is there any boba in Hawaii, Johnny?
yeah, there are a couple places.
There's some newer places that just opened up in Rolling Heights. Whenever you're in town, let's go.
Yeah, I used to go with Roger all the time for Boba in high school.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's a staple in people's life.
yeah, a staple in his
Yeah.
life.
Oh, someone brought up Jim's fries. Remember that?
Gems. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, you
the
mean-
one with the seasoning.
With the seasoning, yeah. You throw your seasoning on fries.
I
There's
think-
a big greasy bag of fries, and you throw.
I remember
seasoning in
eating those, but I don't remember. I think I only ate their burger once,
it. Yeah,
but the fries were good.
that was good. I remember that. I was too poor to afford it. I only ate it like once or twice.
Yeah, I think for us, even after high school, Johnny, like we went to Boba places to hang out usually, like Factory Tea Bar. At least me and AC went to Factory Tea Bar pretty darn often. But I think me and you go to Tea Brick more often, right, Johnny? At least from
Yeah, we gone to tea break. Yeah.
Tea brick, yeah, and Factory Tea Bar. Factory Tea Bar is still there.
yeah,
It's still there.
I like that place.
It's pretty cool. First boba place to have very comfortable couches where you can hang out and play cards and
Yep.
do stuff with your friends.
We totally veered from academics.
We totally have. We just talked about having fun.
Looking back at your childhood, are you surprised to be where you guys
Nope.
are right?
I did
Yeah.
not expect to be where I am today, honestly, with you. I have no idea how I ended up here, but I did.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at what we've said so far, basic rundown, right? All of us went to an elementary school that's public school, basic subjects. It's not an art school. Same for middle school. Same for high school. general education, public schools. So for us, there's no direct path to anything. I feel we could do anything we want because it's generalized. Other people that actually went to art school and stuff like that, it would have made more sense for them to do art stuff. I don't think it really mattered what we did in school.
Yeah. Like looking back to middle school, definitely had no idea I'd be here right now. And even looking back to high school, I never thought I'd be where I am right now, even for high school.
So high school wasn't a deciding factor for you? I mean, that's where I decided mine was high school.
High school had some impact, but it wasn't set in stone was all.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
It's funny when you're young. I don't know. You just, or not young, but when you're a kid, you're kind of like, I don't know.
Oblivious? Or?
You're kind of scared to make mistakes. You know what I mean? Like, oh man, I don't want to make mistakes. That's how I felt when I was.
Oh, definitely.
That's how I felt when I was in the 11th grade, 10th, 11th, 12th, and then college. Because I was like, my goal was to get an education real quick, get out, get a job, and start making money. I didn't want to waste time, getting a master's or this or a doctorate or become a doctor or whatever. I just wanted to get my education, go out, get money, and I wanted to buy a house. My goal was to buy a house before I was 25.
Okay.
And
that was the goal.
You achieved that.
Somehow I achieved that. I don't know how, but I freaking achieved it. And it was all out of, dumb luck, really. My parents thought I was going to be a doctor or whatever. They saved money for that. And I didn't use a dime of all that savings. So they're like, well, it's sitting in a savings account. We're just going to invest it. I'm like, okay, what are you guys going to invest in? We're going to buy a property. Like, okay.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, Jimmy brought up something. Did you guys feel like pressured from your family at all growing up? Like,
oh, hell yeah.
That time? Okay.
Like, I think my mom always expected me to become an engineer. I think that's literally what she told people that I would be. Like, I mean, that's sort of what I also said that I would want to get into after school. Like, I told her, yeah, Mom, I'll probably do something related to engineering since I'm in like physics. And that's the natural path. Most of my friends went into either computer science stuff or engineering stuff.
Or engineering, yeah. And Scott, you finished college early, didn't you? Like,
yes, I finished 1 year early.
Yeah.
Although we are not at college yet, but yeah.
But as you guys can see, this man is smart. Proving my point. Proving my point.
I won't deny that. I will appreciate you, Jimmy. That's what I'm gonna do.
I was right from the start, man.
No, but high school, I did not pay attention in classes. I think that's when I started not to pay as much attention. I think in 7th grade and 8th grade, I tried really hard to pay attention. And I think I achieved that in 8th grade because after I moved, I was like super depressed and sad because I lost all my friends. And then I avoided making friends as much as possible. Eventually, I did make friends. But during classes, I sort of just did every assignment, was like trying to focus because I wasn't distracted by anyone. I didn't have that many friends, so it was easy for me to actually focus in class and do stuff. But then once high school hit, for some reason, I just stopped paying attention in classes. Like everything got extremely, I don't know if it was the fact that I just was learning too much new stuff. Like, how did you guys feel when you entered high school for academics?
9th grade was the grade that I first experienced heartbreak. I was summer break of 8th going into 9th. I had my first breakup with my first girlfriend. I don't know if that counts as a girlfriend. We didn't do anything. It was all instant messaging. But anyways, I was depressed as hell. 9th grade was probably academically was my best year. It was my best year. I ran a lot. because I did cross country and track. I ran so much. I lost so much weight. I dropped so much weight. I was no longer that fat kid that I was, right? Academically, I was a 4.0 student. I was straight A's.
Nice.
Because I tried so hard to.
Yo, Jimmy, I didn't get a 4.0 in freshman year. You are a smart man.
Yeah, that was only 1 year.
Flip it on him.
But yeah, that was my ninth grade. I was distracting myself from my heartbreak by school and joining the track team and cross country team. I ran so much.
Nice.
I ran so much that I blew out my knee. That's how much I ran.
Oh shit.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's the lesson of the day, kids. Just feel that depression. No, just kidding.
That depression is
that
good
breakup.
motivation. No, I was kidding. That's not. It's not good motivation. Depression.
Yeah, it's the cost is not worth the benefit. There's a better way to do it. Basically, is what we're saying. Although it's kind of interesting, I do think adversity helps unlock something in your brain. So I can't say that it's entirely bad, because if you can work through it, you will come out stronger. But drugs? No, not drugs.
No.
That's sort of losing to it. That's not working through it. Unfortunately.
That's like a Band-Aid. It doesn't fix anything.
Yeah. IDK, Jimmy's way of coping seemed to work pretty well. That's
Pretty
not Jimmy's
much.
way. Jimmy didn't take drugs.
I think she was saying how yeah. But yeah.
Ran.
yeah.
You got distracted with school.
But yeah, if you guys go through a heartbreak, just distract yourself with something, okay? And don't mope around, because moping around doesn't help.
Yeah, if you guys feel
Go
sad
out
about
and do
something, put your energy into something that's worthwhile, and at least something gets moved ahead, like something progresses, and that's good, you know? I think that's inadvertently what I did, even though I didn't try to focus in school. But I do think I might have gotten smarter because I moved and felt really sad, and there's nothing else to do but like the schoolwork. And I think that
you were already smart.
no. Look, I struggled in ninth grade. That's the truth. In chemistry, I got like a B. And then English, I think I got a B as well. I got 2 B's, I think, Jimmy. So not as smart as you think. But after that, I got straight A's for high school. So I don't know.
Hey, high school is where it counts.
Maybe I adapted to like the new subjects or whatever. Although I was pretty distracted in freshman year, I would say. I had a girlfriend at the time. I was also in band. So after I quit band, and I still had the girlfriend, but after I quit band, it was easier to do school, I guess, just because there's more time.
Girlfriends take up all that time. I'm not gonna lie. No offense to the ladies, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's both ways there.
I mean, it's both ways, right? When you're in a relationship with somebody, you want to spend time with them. Spend as much time as you can with them, because that's who you want to be with, right? So everything else sort of just...
Yeah, I mean, it didn't really work out, so regrets. I mean, I wouldn't say regrets in terms of like being with her. I'm totally fine with that, but like having spent that time and having it's a debate in philosophy.
That is a debate. It's a very
because
controversial.
I enjoyed what it was, the memories, but like you can't really. For me, I try my best not to like look back and say I wish that didn't happen, because I did enjoy the memories. So yeah.
I see a question in the chat. In high school, you get a girlfriend just so you don't get called gay. I never had a girlfriend in high school. All 4 years, I was single.
I had a girlfriend in high school, and people still thought I was gay. So I don't know if
I didn't get called gay. I didn't get called gay, so... Oh, man.
You guys remember Julie in 7th grade? For some reason, I'm not going to say last names, but...
That's right.
Basically, she asked me, "Are you gay?" And I'm like, "Why? No. Why'd you ask that?" It doesn't.
Surprisingly, I got close to Julie in 9th grade.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, that was interesting.
I forgot to mention, in 7th grade, I always wore a black jacket and a white shirt and jeans. You guys remember that?
Yes.
black
and then
jacket.
I copied you. I got a
You
black jacket
copied
too. Black was cool, man. That was the thing in 7th grade, middle school. Black was in, man. The emo style, long hair.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Listening to punk rock music. That was me. Black
Yeah, I had pretty
black
long hair
everything.
too.
Yeah, didn't you
Longer
grow out your
hair.
hair too, Scott?
Yeah, my hair was like pretty long.
Yeah.
Not like long, but like, all
Black,
over.
yes, black still is cool. I agree. I have a lot of black stuff. Black motorcycle helmet.
Oh yeah, newbie says, Scott, you're too nice. That's why people call me gay. Oh, how does that make sense? Nice people don't exist. That's a contradiction. But yeah.
Nice people don't exist. That's I take that to an offense. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
I'm not nice anymore.
we're a bit scattered all over the place, but we're playing it by ear. Yeah.
Free forming, as they say.
Yeah, I think high school, I always slept in class. My friends know me for this. My high school friends know that I slept in class. I literally like this the entire time during class, and they would sometimes they would wake me up, sometimes not. But
Okay.
But yeah, ask the people that were in my class. They will always tell you I was that one kid that slept in class.
Did you want to be woken up? That's the question.
Depends on the teacher. If the teacher is very strict, I was like,
Yeah.
one of my friends, her name was Elizabeth. I told her, yo, poke me if I'm like sleeping. And then she would poke me almost every time, like every day.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here. Even though Scott was sleeping in most of his classes, he still freaking got A's.
Yes. Except for English, 9th grade.
But still,
After ninth grade, I got straight A's. So, my
This
favorite.
boy's
Someone
asking-
asked in chat, were you tired or bored from the class that you slept
I
in?
was bored, 100% bored.
Okay.
I slept in most of my classes. I was bored, and of course, I didn't get A's. So
I could
I'm
not
not
stand lectures. For me, like the way I learned in all of high school and college was I took the book and read it, the textbook.
Right.
So, like I said, for math, that's what I did. And then, like for stuff like AP Econ, which was one of my favorite classes in senior year, that's also what I did. Just read the book. For
Scott, it seems like you're like a self-studier. Like you
yes,
like you do it on your own.
yes, I like self-studying, but I also like having like someone like a teacher, like because I've experienced having, I guess, a solo one-on-one experience with a teacher, which is a piano teacher. Other than that, I've never experienced it with like an actual academic teacher. But for piano, it works wonders. They get to correct your technique. They get to correct like how things sound. And I'm pretty sure it's similar if you had an actual like tutor.
Yeah, because they can focus on you instead of a teacher who has to focus on 36 students, right?
Yeah.
Or in college, is like 100 and something students in one hall. So it's like, it's crazy.
Yeah, but I do like having a teacher. There have been great teachers in high school as well. Like I said, my English class was fun. His name was Mr. Connell. That was a fun teacher. Roger actually had bad experiences in that class, but
Of course.
but he still thinks Mr. Connell is really cool. Yeah.
High school was a very turbulent time for me.
That-
So I'm not sure.
That
what
is
for you
true.
guys.
Oh, so something I'm like experiencing in my work, right, is it's not necessarily the work that builds your experience. It's like who you work with. So that might be the cases with like certain class too. It's not the class itself, but who's in that class with you that makes it.
Yeah.
Works it.
It's the atmosphere. Atmosphere is very important. If it's a learning atmosphere, it's very important. If it's a money-making atmosphere, you're gonna make money. You know,
Yeah.
it's
I-
whatever the room is.
I try to like tell my cousins, it's not the subject that's boring, it's your teacher that's boring.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
some of my cousins are like, oh yeah, I hate science or whatever. I'm like, how can you hate science? Science is like
Yeah.
the most fascinating subject ever. It's like
It is.
exploring, it's like discovering new things, and actually understanding how things work. So it's like, it's crazy to me how someone can say that. It hurts me. It breaks my heart.
Yeah, it breaks my heart when someone says that too.
Yeah, that's interesting because I mentioned earlier history is like probably one of my favorite subjects, if not my favorite subject, and that comes from my high school experience. But definitely in middle school, it was like my worst experience.
Science is boring, Scott.
Mango says science is boring.
Science is boring.
How can you say that?
How could you say that? You're hurting my heart.
I love science.
Yeah.
That is, like, science is like my favorite class. I love it so much. Biology, physics, physiology, everything. I enjoy science so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are so many sciences too.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know,
there's so many
people,
different sciences for different people. Like,
you'll find one eventually.
Surprisingly, I really enjoyed chemistry. Chemistry was very fun. I was very good at chemistry. Like, you know, doing all the equations that I don't even remember now. But anyways, I was good at it at the time. Physics was fun. That was very fun because it's like math and science mixed together, which is like...
New Bear says, I have a chemistry degree and I still think it's boring. It's unfortunate, man. Maybe you should have tried something else like physics or psychology or
bio.
Yeah. For me, bio is like harder for me to get into. I don't know why. But physics is like fascinating.
Physics is interesting.
Like you guys should check out Kurzgesagt in a nutshell. That's like one of my favorite channels. It just if you watch their videos and you can still tell me that science is boring, I will concede to you.
Okay.
But yeah, check out Kurzgesagt in a nutshell. It's on YouTube.
Everything is science, guys. Watch Bill Nye.
Bill Nye.
Bill Nye the Science Guy. He makes science fun. I love science.
That was fun growing up. Yeah.
Everything in life is science and math.
Yeah.
Everything. Literally everything.
But I think my choice to become a physics major stemmed from high school in physics AP. The teacher was definitely inspirational in some ways, or just like he was a very cool teacher, basically, Mr. Tran. And he told us that if all of us got 5s, or if all of us passed the AP test, he would shave his head bald. Unfortunately, one person did not pass the AP test out of the entire class. So that we almost got him.
Our principal did that in high school. I think I mentioned in the last podcast, CST scores. If our high school reached a certain number, he would shave his head. And one year we got that. He shaved his head. He shaved his head in front of everyone. We had a whole rally, a whole pep rally, and he was right in the middle of the school, and we shaved his head.
Oh, somebody did that in our high school as well.
Yeah. And then the craziest thing he did was, okay, if you guys get this score, I will camp out on the roof of this school with a megaphone, and I will camp out there for one day, like literally set up a tent and live there. And I would say San Gabriel High School is the best high school. Literally, we hit it, and he got up on that roof, and he did that, dude. And I think he made the newspaper. I think San Gabriel Tribune. Yeah, he was in it.
That's funny.
Yeah, he shaved his head and lived on the roof. We got both.
Damn, that's good motivation.
He was a good principal.
Let's see. Mango says, I still hate math. Math, I can understand if you don't like it. Math is like just doing sort of brain exercises, mental exercises for the sake of calculations. Like, it's almost like solving logic problems. And for me, I enjoy that. There's no context to just math, pure math. It's just mainly logic. But science is boring because 99% of the time it is all theoretical, meaning most of us won't use. I wouldn't say 99%. I'd say in our life we have to understand a good amount of science for things to work properly, or at least like if you fix things in your house. I don't know, I do that because like my parents are divorced and my dad does, and I live with my mom, and my mom basically pushes everything on me, so I basically have to fix things. I fixed my TV one time. Like I replaced the capacitors, soldering it, and then it actually like worked out. So it depends on how much you use, or what you're doing around the house. Because I feel like science definitely applies to those things, for sure.
Science applies to my job every day.
Yeah. It also
Yeah.
applies to my job every day.
Yeah.
Because I do computer stuff. Good thing I dropped that class. You mean Mr. Tran? There would have been 2 people who didn't pass. Yeah. Mango agrees, lots of theory, but I think it's a necessary evil. I wouldn't call it an evil. It's fun. You know, science is fun. Socioscience, because you have to know how people you know how people think.
They're all kind of sus. They are kind of sus. Wait.
I personally think the psychology and maybe I might get flamed for this, but the social sciences where like you're studying people and behavior of people, all of that is sort of not, I would call that a soft science. I wouldn't call that a hard science, because there are so many different cases. People are just giving them names, It could be, like, for instance, someone could be schizophrenic, right? But, like, if you have 2 different people that are schizophrenic, they could show not completely different symptoms, but, like, only one thing is similar. And then you can still call them you can still call it schizophrenia, even though they exhibit, like, somewhat different behaviors. It's more of like a category, like trying to name things versus like observing things and then naming them versus like actual like hard sciences which work every single time. Like if I dropped an object from a certain distance, it will happen every single time at a certain amount of seconds.
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned that, because I took psychology twice, and like both times my teachers were all like, yeah, this isn't like a big science. It's like, I think they call it like small science, where
A soft science.
soft science. Yeah.
I took psychology too. Was it junior year? I think it was junior year. Yeah. That just psychology put me to sleep. I'm not gonna lie. I was like,
Really? That's surprising.
I thought it was interesting.
There were some chapters that were very interesting, but some chapters really put me to bed, man. I was just like, okay, whatever. It didn't spark my interest. That's why I didn't go for AP psychology next year. Next year, I was like, I'm not gonna freaking take this class so I can go to sleep. So
yeah, for me personally, I think every subject is interesting to a certain extent.
yeah.
Like for me, I love history. I watch like history videos on YouTube sometimes.
History Bluffs or Weird History. Weird History is a good channel.
Yeah, I also enjoy writing. Like I mentioned earlier, I also enjoy the sciences, most of them. And I mean, name a subject and I'll tell you if I enjoy it or not. What other subjects are there?
Oh my gosh. Someone brought up art history.
Oh, I took art history in college. It was very interesting. I did enjoy that class.
I had horror stories from my friends who took art history.
It was Asian art history.
Asian art history. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I had horror stories from my friends who took art history. I don't know.
I'm just gonna ignore that one.
Skip that question. Chili Mango brought up geography is cool. I agree. I'm not gonna lie. I like geography. That was one of my favorite subjects as a kid. And the other day I was digging holes in my backyard to plant trees. And there were a lot of rocks. And I was like,
yeah.
How old is this rock? Like, this rock has been here for wherever, I don't know for how many years.
Wait, are you thinking of geography or geology?
Geography and geology.
Okay. I'm just double checking.
Whoops.
What's the difference?
Archaeology? Okay, never mind.
Geography is like where like
places,
country is.
Where country is and stuff.
Yeah, geology is the study of.
And then geology is like how things happen, like erosion and rocks and all that stuff.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of foreign languages?
I took Japanese in high school, and I love you, sensei. But I do feel like I forgot most of it.
Okay.
But I feel like that's normal.
Siska, we need to go to Japan. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, I went to Japan, and I was super proud. I mean, Roger was there. I was super proud when that time, like, I managed to get our tickets replaced because we had the wrong time. So I had to talk to this person who only understood Japanese, and I spoke in Japanese, and I was like, okay, can we switch the times? And I got the ticket switched, and I was like, yes.
Nice.
Mission accomplished.
My first question is always like, Eigo wakarimasu ka? Like, do you understand English? And they said no, but there's like an English one upstairs, and I was like, no, I'm just gonna try to speak in Japanese. But yeah,
I went to Japan. All I can say is arigato. Arigato gozaimasu. And I just leave my store. Bye. 7-Eleven.
Yeah, I have tried learning more Japanese afterwards, like through audiobooks. I think Pimsleur is one of them that I tried learning from. I think it's helpful, but like I think foreign languages, learning them is completely useless unless you are using it. For me, I was not using it, so I forgot everything I learned.
Whoop whoop. Someone asked for that. Yeah, for me, I brought up foreign languages because that's what I do for work right now.
Yeah.
I'm a translator. So for me, it's useful. But yeah, if I didn't work the field I work, I feel like, yeah, I would be questioning why I took it. I think for me, when I was learning a language, it was more important to learn the culture of it. I feel like you can take a lot more away from that than the actual language.
Especially for Japanese, because
yeah.
In Japanese, there's so many different ways to say the same thing, and each of them sort of like have subtle differences in terms of like respect level, and like how it depends on who you are in the culture as well.
Yeah, I took Spanish and learned quite a bit about Spanish culture. There's a difference between Spanish and Mexican culture. I didn't know that. Spanish people do things differently than Mexicans do. And learning Spanish, it came in handy later when I got a job.
Nice.
Because I became a entry-level lube tech at Toyota. And the guy that was training me, all he spoke was Spanish. So whatever he spoke, I understood.
Nice.
I understood Spanish. I can understand Spanish very well. Speaking, I'm kind of like, eh.
All right, we got 3 languages.
Yeah, we got 3 different languages.
Oh, wait, four right here. English, Spanish, Mandarin for you, right, Johnny?
Yep.
And then Cantonese for me. Maybe a little bit of Japanese. Oh, also Vietnamese. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Vietnamese, man.
Let's see.
Also, Miss Boy brought up the question, what about poli-sci?
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Like political science, right?
Yeah, political science. I know nothing about poli-science, man.
Surprisingly, I actually enjoy it. My cousin took a political science class this summer, actually, this year. So it's all online. I'm not going to say her name, but I did a lot of it for her. So it was my pastime, and all I did was like help her with the quizzes. Some of the answers I just knew already because I just know things about like how politics works, all the 3 branches, stuff like that. And then otherwise I would just help her by reading stuff and then like help her answer the quizzes. And I also helped her write the essay.
It's very controversial, right? Like there's
definitely. Very controversial.
There's no right answer. There's no definite answer, right? So I don't know. I know nothing about politics.
There's no right answer. It really depends on who you are. Like, for instance, if you're in the middle class, certain policies will benefit you more than compared to if you're in a lower class. Same with upper class. And that's why there's always fighting, because it's mostly, in my opinion, it's mostly identity politics that rub people the wrong way. But these days, it's more like misinformation, really. But yeah, a lot of stuff in political science that is.
Speaking of high school, when did you guys get your licenses? Because that's a big thing in high school. driving.
I got a junior to senior year.
Junior year.
Nice. I got mine junior year. No, summer going into junior year.
Nice.
And I got
You got it really early.
And I got my first car winter of junior year.
Oh yeah, Mango, if you want me to say something in Cantonese, let me know what you want me to say. Also, my Cantonese is a little rusty. I've not spoken it in a while.
I can cuss in Cantonese really well, but I'm not going to do that.
Oh, no.
Driving was fun, I think, although I did get in a car accident in senior year.
Yeah, I heard about that, but I never asked you.
Yeah, so I'll tell you guys about it. Okay, imagine two streets. It was on El Prado. What happened was I was on Kimball, turned right. So then now there's two lanes, right? And then there's two coming my way. So like this, right? And then somebody was about to make a left turn on the left lane, but you know, cars were passing, so they had to stop. And then I kept going, and then this car was like right here behind me. So I was going on this lane. I was listening to Neo at the time. Like I was listening to his song. Yeah, Neo. So sick of love songs. I was listening to that song.
Yeah, there you go.
And then it's not relevant at all. But, but the car was stopping and was making a left turn. I kept going, and then I was gonna merge, but this guy, like, while I was about to merge, he sped super fast up and like beeped at me. So then what happened was I got scared and stayed in the same lane, but I was going fast. So I ended up hitting the guy in the back, but it was like minor. Like literally, you could not tell that I hit the car, but on my side, the front of the car, you could definitely tell. But yeah,
glad you're safe.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I heard about it, but I was like, oh.
The car got fixed up as well. So
I got into one. I rear-ended someone by accident. No, someone rear-ended me. Sorry. That's getting rear-ended is not fun.
Oh hi, Scott. Nehoma. Mango asked me to say hi. My name is Scott. How are you? Yes, teach us the bad words. No, that's not what we're gonna do right now.
I'll teach you the bad words in another podcast. No, I'm just kidding. Wait, Scott, you're half Cantonese. You know Canto, right?
Yeah, my whole family speaks Cantonese.
Yeah.
Except like I hardly speak it, so my accent has gotten whitewashed.
I tried learning Canto while my nieces were learning. Again, I can listen to it.
Siomai.
Yeah.
No.
So
Anyways.
high school. How was high school? Like good, weird.
High school was fun. I enjoyed it overall.
A quick question. Did you guys I hear this, like teenagers go through this stage. Did you guys have a suicidal stage? Like, not to get too personal, but
I did not.
okay.
I would say not in high school, no.
Okay, I had mine in high school.
Okay. Early, right? You said 9th grade?
It was senior year. I was, again, very heartbroken.
Another breakup?
No, it wasn't another breakup. I didn't have a girlfriend. I really liked this one girl.
Oh, okay.
But she liked a good friend of mine, and that good friend of mine stabbed me in the back. I got stabbed in the back quite a bit senior year.
Oh,
people are mean in high school. But yeah, I guess that was too nice. Again, too nice. Got stabbed in the back, and I was like, man, this sucks. Life sucks.
I didn't know about this. I'm sorry, Jimmy.
Yeah, that was definitely life changing. I was very close to doing it, guys. I was very close, and I think we'll talk about this in another podcast. But yeah, like depression is a dangerous place, man.
If you want to talk about it now, it's totally fine. Just to give us, since you brought it up, you could at least tell us like how you managed to pull back from it.
Well, let's say I went 3 or 4 weeks without eating or sleeping. I didn't eat. I didn't feel like eating, and I couldn't sleep. And literally, I was in quite a bit of pain. Well, actually, no, more than quite a bit. But and I was very close to doing it. Very, very close. Like just calling it quits. But then I thought about my niece. She was only 2 at the time, and I was like thinking about her. I was like, all right, Jimmy, do you want to see her graduate high school? Yes. Do you want to see her walk down the aisle when she gets married? Yes. Then you can't do it. So
Well, I'm glad you're still here, Jimmy.
Yeah.
And how old is your niece now?
She just turned 10.
Well, I hope you get to see her graduate as well.
Yeah.
And
So,
I hope she knows how much you love her.
Yeah. So she honestly saved my life, because I was in a very dark place. And ever since that day, I told myself I'm never ever gonna go down to that low of feeling that low ever again. I'm never coming back to this place ever again. And I feel like I think everyone should experience. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say that everyone should experience that.
Force it on them.
But yeah, depression it's a scary thing, dude. Because again, I dated a girl. She had severe depression, PTSD. It was bad. It was bad, and nothing I did could have saved her. So yeah, she's still here. She's not gone, but yeah, I hope she's doing well. We broke up last year, so she went to go find herself. But yeah, depression, we that's a very big thing for me right now.
Yeah.
People who feel depressed or having suicidal thoughts, I kind of like try to be more compassionate and help those people. And
Definitely. I think that's one thing that's beneficial, and I understand what you mean by like maybe people should feel that, but not to that extent, because I think when you do feel certain levels of sadness, it unlocks a level of empathy within you for understanding people who are in that in the same spot you were.
Yeah.
So when you see someone who's like sad or depressed or angry about something, and you were there once,
Yeah.
you can understand
I
it.
was there, and but yeah, like I said, nothing that I said helped her. So that's why she, she ended things with me, and she's like, you weren't helpful. But again, I tried everything. Again, I know that if you're dealing with a depressed person, you have to sort of, console them, make sure that they're safe, they have someone to talk to, and I gave her that atmosphere, but it wasn't enough. So, and again, remember, if you're trying to pull someone out of depression, you can't do all the work. You're there for them, you support them, but remember that they have to help themselves first to get out of the, right?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean,
I know.
I'll say like it's different for everyone.
Yeah.
Sometimes maybe you can pull them out of it.
Cause I was beating myself up on it. I was like, man, I couldn't save her. I'm a terrible person. But then I kept thinking about that, and I'm like, I gave her all the support she needed.
Yeah.
I was there for her all times. But again, she needs to put in some work as well.
Yeah. You did what you could, basically.
Yeah.
And that's all that anybody could ask for.
Yeah.
But in terms of what I said earlier, it's just like whoever puts in the initial like push, it depends on who, right? Some people, they need it from themselves. Some people, they don't mind getting it from another person and then getting out of it with the help. So yeah. But either way, if you're in that state, it's always helpful to have support.
Yeah. Depression is bad. Yeah. Your mind gets fogged. And again, I just went through it last year. I really loved this girl. I thought I was gonna end up with her. I was gonna marry her. I was gonna have I was gonna settle down. And yeah, it broke my heart when she left me, because I was like, look, I gave you everything I can. Why are you leaving me? That type of attitude, or that type of thinking. But yeah, it's but
Jimmy,
yeah.
you are an experienced man. I feel like a kid listening to a story from my uncle or something.
An old man. It's damn, yeah. It's been a tough year, guys. I'm not gonna lie. 2019 was a rough year on me.
2020.
Yeah, 2020 was a rough
2020
year.
was rough as well.
Rough, but a lot of growth. You know what I mean? You go through that growth period. And actually, I was gonna ask you guys this as well. Have you guys ever heard of the term, a doomed relationship? Like that relationship is just bound. It's just gonna end. But
I've not heard of the term, but I understand the meaning.
Yeah. So, and then it helps you grow as a person. I guess you can say, like, you just had to meet. You guys had to. Your stars crossed, in order for you to grow and become another person or a better version of who you were. So I guess I experienced that. That's what I did. This year was full of growth for me, at least, and we'll get more into it. How life changing it was. So
glad to hear it though. I do feel that you have grown since I've seen you. I mean, we don't really see each other that often. Even pre-COVID, we only saw each other maybe like twice.
Once or twice a year.
Yeah.
But as I have another theory or philosophy is, I'm not academically smart or whatever, but I think life is like another thing that everyone needs to learn. It's like another course, I guess you can say, right? Whatever life throws at you.
Yeah. Not everything can be learned in school.
Yeah, you can't learn everything at school. And
unless life is school. Just kidding.
Well, I honestly think life is school, because
life is the greatest teacher.
Yeah, life is the greatest teacher. I would not listen to the older people in your life, because I worked with a lot of old guys, and they taught me a lot of stuff. I'm not gonna lie, a lot of life stories and experiences, and it helped me grow as well. So
just to bring it back, because we do want to.
Let's go back.
We're trying to stick to. We talked enough about middle school, I feel. Going into high school, all of us separated. Well, actually, going into 8th grade, I moved away, and then like high school, then we all separated. So
I was separated by Johnny from Johnny, because he went to a different high school again.
Yeah. But we reunited at the Mark Keppel prom.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that was a great time seeing everyone again.
Oh man, everyone was dressed up. Everyone looked fantastic, and we have a photo together.
Yeah, but I remember walking around with you guys and like talking to our friends from Emerson.
Oh my gosh,
that was fun. Got to see all the old friends again. Yeah, Ezekiel. I saw Jose. I remember seeing April.
Yeah. Did you guys know that I did not want to go with my date that night? I did not want to go to prom with her.
I could see that.
God, man.
I could see that.
I was like, man, I just want to hang out with my friends.
I'm not going to name names, but I also ditched my date to hang out with you guys.
I don't know if I should bring that up.
She gives me grievance every time I see her.
No, really?
She mentions it sometimes, but we're just friends.
Yeah.
It was fun dancing too. That was when I was like into b-boying.
That's right. You were like showing off your moves on the dance floor.
Yeah, did a flare. Yeah.
It was a fun night. I'm not gonna lie to you. I had a lot of fun that night.
Yeah, that was fun. Yeah.
I saw so many old friends.
I played a little piano too. There was a piano there.
Yes, there was a piano there.
I remember that.
Yeah.
And that was a fun night.
That was a fantastic night. Everyone looked great. I was like, wow. And we felt so grown up. Did you guys feel grown up? I felt grown up. I was
felt grown up.
Walking in with my tuxedo. I drove to the prom in my car. I washed my car, detailed my car before I went to the prom and all that stuff. It was perfect, except for I didn't want to be with my date.
When is our 10th reunion for high school? Should be 2023, right?
Yeah, yep. 2023. So 3 more years.
Except, do we do that stuff? Like, does someone have to do it, or does the school do it?
I think your school should have like a Facebook page, wouldn't it? Or
Good luck finding me.
Yeah, Yeah, Roger, you can you can organize it, Roger.
Uh,
I already have like a high school reunion like every year at my party. That's what everyone says.
that is true. That is true. That is true.
Yeah, 10-year reunion. Holy crap!
I just realized we missed 10 years for middle school, actually.
Yeah.
Middle school was '09, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was last year.
I mean, assuming everything is good, maybe 2023. We can like, hopefully you're around, Johnny, but we can rent a place or something, like a venue, and then invite literally everyone we know from high school
Yeah.
And play Braveheart.
and Emerson and like middle school.
Braveheart.
Play Braveheart or Brownie Ball.
Yeah. Maybe
It won't be
more
that
than-
hard for me to organize it because I already do like a party every year.
Yeah.
So
And Scott's parties are like eventful, very, very eventful.
yeah.
There's a schedule.
So
Something you mark on your calendar.
There's an itinerary for his parties.
the only hard part would be finding a venue. That's it, and then setting the date, doing the stuff. It's normal to me.
To be honest, I would love to see all of our old friends. I would love to see them again.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
enjoy revisiting people.
Yeah.
No, my house is not going to be big enough for that. It's going to be packed. I do remember this one time. I think it was my sister's sweet 16. I think you guys were there.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
Was I there?
At my house. Yeah, her sweet 16 was when we were in, I think, 8th grade.
Oh.
I think that was the first time I saw your new house
Yeah.
because I didn't go to your house.
I didn't go to that year.
Oh, you didn't? But yeah, I remember a lot of people went that year. I think Johnny went, Tiffany, Hannah, Lakana. Yeah, but it was packed wall to wall. It was so strange.
Yeah.
Literally, there was a person on every wall. Like, it's never been that
Yeah.
crowded in my house ever. I think I counted. There was like more than 50 people in my house, and I was like, "What the heck?"
You can't do that nowadays.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
No, right now. Yeah.
But
They'll
yeah,
call the cops on you.
my house cannot fit 50 people comfortably. Definitely not. It can't even fit like 30 people comfortably. But
Jeez.
yeah.
Okay, how about this? Another thing. Senioritis. Did you guys have senioritis? Because I had
hell yeah.
I had a bad case of senioritis where I almost wasn't able to graduate.
Really?
No, I had
What?
I've never told anyone this before, but I don't care anymore. I got senioritis so bad that I failed an AP test, and I
Wow.
didn't care.
I failed mine too.
Interesting.
I failed AP Government. That was the only AP test I ever failed. I had APUSH, which is U.S. History. I had both Calculus. I had AP Econ, AP English. I got 5s on pretty much everything except for AP Government,
I thought
which
AP,
I failed.
I thought
AP
AP,
Physics.
I thought AP Gov was one of the easy ones. I didn't take AP Gov. I didn't get into it.
I took AP Gov. I got an A in the class. I was the first person to like get a perfect score in the class test, right? The first person to get a perfect score in 5 years. And then once the AP test came around, I didn't study for it at all. I got senioritis so hard that I was
my
like, I don't
gosh.
care about this at all. And I failed it because of that.
The teacher
Interesting.
had to put away that secret trophy he had. He's like, all right, guess I'm not giving this thing out.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
man.
that test was like somewhere in the middle. And the AP test was at the end of the year.
Oh, I hate AP tests. It was so freaking lengthy. Yeah. I failed my AP Lit one, of course. Didn't understand AP Literature. I'm telling you, my English, like I said, my mind is destroyed. When I went to college, I had to start over again. I had to go back to English 99 to reset my brain to how to write a freaking paper because AP Lit just destroyed everything. It destroyed
Yeah.
how I write papers
I've-
because it
I've
wasn't
read-
good enough. And, I always had the worst hooks in the world. Don't start with a question. I still start with a question.
Yeah.
I mean, how else am I supposed to start?
Me and Roger had a pretty good English teacher in sophomore year, I feel. Miss Davis. she would always look at me and my girlfriend and be like, "You guys are so cute together."
I never met your girlfriend, your high school girlfriend.
Oh, interesting. But
Yeah, I never met her.
yeah, Miss Davis was hilarious. Oh my gosh, yeah, the hickey situation.
Oh no!
I want to hear about
No,
this.
I want to hear about this, Scott. Yeah, let me hear about this. Story.
So we had a, apparently my girlfriend gave me a hickey and I didn't know what that was.
Of course, Scott. Naive.
So in class while she was passing out papers back to us, she was like, "Oh my gosh, Scott, is that a hickey?" And like the teacher said that, and then I was like, "What?" And then everyone looked at me, and she's like, "You should put some." I forgot what she said, something about lipstick or whatever. But
Makeup, I think, like some foundation.
yeah, but
Cover that up, Scott.
Roger said he could see it across the classroom.
Was it that big?
I guess so. I looked at it when I got home, and it was definitely noticeable, but I did not notice it before then.
Did your mom notice?
No.
Oh, she was oblivious of it. Like,
Oh yeah. Mango says, "I did not have senioritis. My class had a capstone project in high school, so I hated when people said they had senioritis." Capstone
Yeah.
project? Oh, what's a capstone project?
Yeah, I have no idea what it is.
I took a
Is-
capstone class in college, but I don't know what capstone is. But yeah, my senioritis was so bad, and I was depressed. I almost didn't graduate high school. I was so close to not graduating. I was like, oh shit, I'm not gonna graduate high school. And literally, I think it was 2 weeks from graduation, I was running around trying to do makeup work to get enough points to graduate.
Nice.
turning in late papers, turning in like late homework, just whatever points I can salvage. And
Yeah, I was a very, I think when it hits like closer to the end of high school, I was very arrogant, I feel. This is when I considered myself very academically smart, Jimmy, but those times I said I wasn't, I did not feel that way. But like by the time it reached the end of high school, we got our rankings, and there's this rally that was presented the top 10 students of our class, and I was in the top 10. So it was out of like 700, I remember the number, 715 students in our class that year for 2013, and I was number 9. And they also had a ranking that excluded freshman year, because like colleges don't really look at that.
Mm-hmm.
And then for that one I was like number 3 for the high school. So I felt like very proud of that. And we also got like our own,
and you got your acceptance letter, right, to the college that you're gonna go to. So
yeah. So I also got like this parking pass. The top 10 people got parking passes so they could park in a parking lot that was like less crowded. So it was pretty cool.
that must be nice. You know, I never experienced that, getting that acceptance letter to an awesome college.
I think for me, I didn't really know much about college. I just like heard things, like people talking about like what good schools are, which good schools and stuff like that.
How did you hear about Occidental? Because I didn't know about that until you went.
Yeah, I didn't know about that school until you went there. And Obama.
Honestly,
I heard Obama
Occidental wasn't
Yeah,
even.
didn't Obama go
Yeah,
there?
Obama
Yeah,
went
Occidental wasn't even my top choice. I feel like I got pressured into choosing it because of a college counselor told me to go there, and there was a program that was called 3-2, and you go to Caltech afterwards. But
Oh man,
I decided
That's
not to do that and just to graduate early and for 3 years. But
Why
that
didn't
was
you
my
wanna go to
original
Caltech?
plan. My original plan was to go to Caltech afterwards.
Caltech is like a dream, man. That was my dream school in college as an engineer. I was an engineering student. But yeah, again, I'm not that smart.
Funny enough, I didn't plan to go to any colleges. I didn't apply to any colleges, but that was because going back to siblings, right? My brother's 9 years older than me. And when he went through college, he kept switching majors. He didn't know what he wanted, and he built up a lot of debt. So I didn't want to go that route, and I had no idea what I wanted either. So like, I made my mind pretty early, just I'm gonna go to like community college and not have to worry about any of that stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's what I did. Like, I didn't worry about getting
Yeah.
into any big colleges. And
That's what I did too. I was kind of the same mindset as Johnny. I was like, all right, I'm gonna go to a community college. Not worry about taking tests to get into whatever. I got into Cal State LA. Who doesn't get into Cal State LA? But yeah, I was like, I'm going to community college, and actually, you know what? I just remembered something. Senior year was the year that I decided I was going to be a mechanic. That was
nice.
I took my first auto shop class, surprisingly, because at the time we had budget cuts, so they started cutting out all these extracurricular classes.
Okay.
And then that year they brought it back. I'm like, okay, I'm going to take auto shop because I love auto shop, so I'm gonna take it. So I took it. Dude, I wish I could have stayed in that class all day long. I didn't want to go to the next period, and I would even come in on my lunchtime and just take engines apart and work on engines and learn. At the time I didn't know anything about cars, even though I thought I did. But yeah, I got student of the award, student of the year.
Nice.
And so I got my name's on the trophy. It's still there at San Gabriel High School. If you look at the trophy, it still has my name on there for 2013.
Nice. Yeah.
And I got a $500 scholarship to any trade school I wanted or colleges that I wanted to go to. I think it was Citrus College. Yeah, Citrus College came out that year, gave out $500.
Nice.
They came out to recruit people for their automotive program, which I went to. Funny enough, it wasn't my first choice. I didn't want to go to Citrus College. I wanted to go to Rio Hondo because Rio Hondo had the Honda program, and I was really into Hondas at the time. I love Hondas. I still do.
Was it because you owned a Honda?
Yeah, and also I always wanted to own, the 90s Hondas. Those engines of the 90s. Honda engines from the 90s were like amazing engines. They still are amazing engines till today. But Citrus had a Toyota program. I was like, man, I don't want to work for Toyota. Like, that's, BS or whatever. Surprisingly, I somehow missed registration for Rio Hondo. So I had no choice but to go to Citrus. Okay. And I got added on, and I was on the wait list. And I told him, hey, I was the student that you recruited, blah, 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 from this school. And then he put me in right away. And that was my professor that I still look up to now to today. So yeah, college.
Yeah,
so
we'll definitely get more into that next time. We are hitting our 2-hour mark, so let's just finish up by just reading a few comments, and then we can give our final thoughts on high school, I guess.
Yeah.
So let's see. My senioritis was so bad I accumulated 150 plus absences. Still graduated somehow.
I don't know how you graduated.
You 150 plus.
That is so.
I wish I was absent for 150 plus days.
And a capstone is like a big final project. It wasn't mandatory, but a lot of people did it. And the whole point of the project was to enrich the community. I mean, that sounds cool. We didn't have anything like that at my school. Enrich the community. I remember doing community service quite a lot in high school.
Yeah. But Miss Boyd asked me if I was becoming a mechanical. Yes, mechanical engineer. Mechanical engineer. Cal Poly Pomona. That was the goal, but it wasn't.
Yeah. So for me, overall, high school was fun. I had a girlfriend throughout, although this on and off.
Never met her.
Academically, it felt pretty easy, to be honest, throughout most of it. The only hard part was like staying awake in class and not getting in trouble because of that. I enjoyed my time with my friends. I made good friends I still talk to. Yeah, high school overall was a good experience for me. I think the only hard part was like family stuff that I went through, but I'll probably get into that eventually later.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, for me, high school was average experience, I think. I kind of like just skated by during class. Just did like pretty much the bare minimum, I would say. But yeah, I made lots of friends there. I'm glad the people that I still keep in touch with. and I don't think it's affected my future too much from high school. Like looking back, what I thought in high school, what I thought I would become, I'm like nowhere near that
same.
or anything like that. So
Same.
I would say not stress out. I would tell people not to stress out about it too much.
Yeah, and high school for me was definitely a very turbulent time. Learned a lot. You know, it was a good experience. I'm not gonna lie, it was a good experience. Had a lot of fun, of course. You know, with your friends, eating lunch with your friends every day. I miss that. You know,
Oh, yeah.
Hanging out at lunchtime and going to practice together. You know, it was good times, but there were also bad times. And you learned who was your good friend or who was a real friend and who was a fake friend. I learned that the hard way, of course. But yeah, I definitely, if I went back and told 16-year-old me, like, hey, you're going to be here at this age, like now, 25, I wouldn't have believed it, and like, so yeah, like I tell all my younger cousins who go to high school, and there's, I have a cousin that's going to college. I'm like, hey, just enjoy it as much as you can, because you're gonna learn a lot, and just have fun, because once it's over and you get a job, that's it. You're just working day in and day out, and honestly, I don't think you have time for anything. College, you had plenty of time to do plenty of things, but once you start working, go out into that real world and start working and making money, yeah, it changes. Your life totally changes.
Yeah, unless you want to like be risky like me and like try different things.
Definitely. Yeah. So
all right,
I'll end with that.
Yeah, so there's way more that we're going to talk about, because we have not really covered college years and life after college as well. So that's going to be our next episode. This one we're going to end off with high school, our thoughts on high school, which we just did. And thank you so much for joining us. It was definitely fun to interact with the comments. Hopefully you guys can join us for the next one. Most likely have it next Saturday again, but we'll let you guys know on the Discord or however else.
And one more thing, Miss Boyd said, love your work. Yeah, that's very important. Do what you love for a living. That's a very big thing. And we'll cover more of that in the next episode. Passion.
All right. Later, guys.